Mic check, mic check. This is Jonathan, and this is the Something You Should Know podcast.
I'm Brian, co-host, and
Main host, I'm the co-host.
Yeah, since you you the main host since you took my headphones.
Oh, the headphones. Yeah, I guess today I'm the host, creator, and all that.
New look, everything.
But as soon as I leave, it's all back on Brian.
All right, where should we start? Let's start with Kobe.
Kobe, yeah. Unexpected,
very
extreme
unexpected
tragedy. Yeah.
How'd you figure out about it, or how'd you hear about it?
I was at the gym with some friends, and I was looking through Instagram, and I saw it. Wait, no, did I see it earlier in the day? I forgot, but it was on some social media. And yeah, I couldn't really believe it. I was like, "What?" At first, I thought it was from some sort of natural cause, cause I guess that's cause. Honestly, I think what popped in my head was like some sort of like an overdose, just cause I've been hearing that from like everywhere on social media from people dying recently.
Yeah.
But like obviously Kobe's not gonna be doing drugs or nothing or not dying of natural causes because he's not old. And I'm like, a fucking helicopter crash, like that's crazy. Honestly, the bigger part of the tragedy that I felt was his daughter being part of it. Not even like Kobe for the most part, but like just because I didn't really witness his legacy or his skill. I know he's a goat, but it's mainly his daughter that I feel bad for because she couldn't carry his legacy and she's not gonna be able to like show her greatness
and like
her
even
potential.
just have her own life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she's 13.
Yeah,
she wasn't even in high school yet.
Exactly. Was that his only kid?
Nah, he has Gigi, the one that passed. He has an older one, Bianca, I think, or Natalia. Then he has another one. Then he has a newborn.
Okay,
like 7 months. So that one.
He already lost two, or his wife lost 2 kids.
Who's
right?
That
You said. Oh no, never mind. The one that passed was I didn't know her name.
No. It was Gigi, and then the older one was her name's either Bianca or Natalia.
Okay.
And then there's 2 more. So you like you said, like Kobe, you didn't really. Were you really even like a big fan like that?
I guess it was just, not really, just because I didn't watch basketball like that. Yeah. I don't really follow sports like that. So.
But, yeah, I get that. I mean, for me, when I found out they were friends. Like he was just like, bro, no way, and I was like, what's up? And then like he replied, he
thought you knew.
Yeah, he thought I knew, and he sent the like link and everything, and I was like, no way. And this was like hella early. This was like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It's hella early, and I was like, all I saw was Kobe died in a helicopter crash, and I was like, I didn't believe it. Because I only believed it like a little tiny bit because I knew he would always ride helicopters. I knew that was his thing, but then I was also thinking they could be one of these trolls, like just trying to put that story out there and knowing that he's known for using helicopters. So I was like, nah, it's not real.
Like a hoax.
I'm waiting for more stuff to come out.
Yeah.
So when I was texting me, Kobe just died. I got a call, then Kobe just died. I was like, what? And then I was like, nah, like still not believing it. I went to go get food, and I saw a real link to it, and I was like, damn.
It's actually
and
real.
I left. I went home. I was just like, nah.
Devastated.
Yeah, that shit hurt, cause like I've been a big sports fan. Yeah. And I got into sports because of Kobe. I got into basketball because of Kobe.
Oh damn.
Like as a kid growing up.
I'm sure a lot of people did too, or like. Kobe had a big impact.
It was weird, yeah, just because like as a kid, I looked up to Kobe. I think my very first basketball game I ever watched on TV was with Kobe, and it was against the Nuggets with Melo. And that's why those two are one of my 2 favorite players ever.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just really gravitated towards Kobe. Like my favorite Kobe is like 2010 Kobe, like championship, like when he won a championship and everything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there for his first 10 years. He came to the league in 96, born 99. He won all his championships when I was alive, but I really lived through 2 of them. I lived through I lived through the second part of his career because he was in the NBA for 20 years. So I lived for that second part,
Yeah, yeah.
not for that first part. And just like what he, not even just what he did for basketball, what he was able to do with like his charity work, the way like he had such a reach on kids, on people, that people wanted to be like Kobe. I wanted to be like Kobe.
Yeah, he was inspiring.
And, he was really inspiring, and all this was just unpredictable. It was tragic.
Yeah.
It had me sick. And then hearing that his daughter died, that was
way
worse because I saw Kobe's career, loved Kobe's career, loved Kobe as a person, and then he started putting more of a spotlight on his daughter, who's Gigi,
purposefully.
Yeah, cause from his interviews, he said like he stopped. Once he retired, he wasn't paying attention to basketball.
Yeah.
Until his daughter was like, I want to play basketball, and so she brought that back into his life.
Damn.
And then she wanted that spotlight. Like, I don't know if you saw this interview where Kobe was saying that when he would go out, fans would always say, "You need a boy to like continue the legacy.
Yeah.
Like, you need a boy, this and that." And every time she was with them, she'd be like, "Nah, like I got this."
Yeah.
And I was just like that's just sad. Like, she was 13. Like she barely lived.
Yeah.
And
she had the determination to carry that legacy. Just makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's like, and I don't even think. I mean, yeah, because that's what she wanted. She wanted to carry the legacy and do her own thing. But for me, I wanted to see her grow the same way I saw Kobe's career. So that was really bad. But also, once like I got, once I heard he died, like a lot of memories were going by in my head. I was like, damn, like a lot of times I've seen him play. A lot of the time, like when he first introduced Mamba mentality, that was really big, especially as a kid, because I didn't think of that as just as like a sports thing. I thought of that as everyday, any action. If it was school, if it was just people, if it was just anything that was going on, that was a phrase I thought about and just kept going with. Yeah. So it was really sad. And then thinking about, for like a quick second, I had to stop myself from thinking about what was going on in the plane.
Yeah.
Right? Because as a father, I would assume, like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, like you can't do anything. Like when I was thinking about it, like just graphically, I could just imagine just only like holding her, trying to maybe calm her down or something. And not even just him, just everyone around him too. It's like 9 other people. Yeah. So, like thinking of that, then thinking of his wife, his newborn, the older sister, like it was crazy, man.
I thought about what was going on in the helicopter too. Just how intense that would have been, and just it happening.
And it's weird, not weird, but a lot of people are saying, why was he riding the helicopter? And like people don't know, like that's something he was doing. Like he was always doing that. And
do you know the destinations he was going?
So him and his daughter and the other people were all going to basketball practice. And I think they were going towards somewhere in West Hollywood, because I think that's where his academy's at. But they said the cause was it was way too cloudy. But the pilot apparently has hella experience. He has like 20 years experience. Like he's a good pilot.
Yeah, that's probably Kobe's like main pilot too.
Yeah, and he got the okay to fly. Yeah. But apparently like he was flying too low, and then he didn't see a mountain. He hit a mountain, and then after he hit that mountain, just lost control and just went down. It's just sad. I've seen like a lot of videos. It's also sad because it's, at least for me, it did feel like losing like a family member, because sometimes with family, like you want to see your family members grow old. Like you want to see certain people grow old and not eat from everything like they for all their hard work, but you want to see them earn everything they worked for. Like Kobe was only 4 years into retirement. Like I wanted to see him grow old. Like people, like the older generation still got Jordan. Jordan's still alive. Like Bill Russell's still alive. Kareem's still alive. Like there's so many other people that had the same impact as Kobe or even bigger that are still here and alive, like they're chilling.
Yeah.
And one of the other heartbreaking things was with Shaq. He came out and was like talking. Shaq's really hurt because Shaq was saying he hasn't talked to Kobe since a year and a half ago, even though they're on good terms.
Yeah.
But Shaq was just saying like he's just super busy now, and he wishes like he would have reached out, just And I can imagine that. I could imagine like these wealthy people like Shaq, the Kobe's, like they're just really busy.
Yeah.
Like they need to do what they're continuing to work on, plus their family, plus their kids,
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of imagining of what these other people are going through as well.
Yeah.
Cause
people that were close to him.
Mm-hmm.
That like you said, are really busy. They can't just like hang out on the weekends, like have a barbecue every month or something.
Yeah, and it's just it's weird to think about. Also, it's weird thinking of just like that tier of people.
Yeah,
they don't really have. Not saying they have they can't have the same exact lives as people who aren't in that group.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just more difficult.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. It's been almost a week since it's happened, or about to be a week. I'm happy to hear from everyone that was really close to him, tell good stories about him and everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember him, And also it sucks because like Kobe was really my first idol growing up. Cause as a kid, yeah, Kobe was the first idol, first person like I looked up to. Kind of that first figure, not figure, but that first person you kind of want to be like.
Like a inspiration.
Yeah, an inspiration, first inspiration ever. And as I was growing older, there's not really that many people in that list for me. Like right now, like it was always the Kobe, the Kendricks, like Kendrick's up there too, the Jay-Z's. And then, the Nipsey was getting there. Like Nipsey was in there. He was like right. He was starting to be a part of that, and then he was gone too soon. Yeah. And similar to Kobe's death, like for me, it just felt unfair. Yeah, it's so selfishly just unfair, and it's just tragic to the people, even the younger generation, who are really looking up to them, who were the same as me, who just lost someone they really cared about.
Yeah.
And inspired.
Such a good person was taken away.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I also think that a lot of players are going to carry on his, I don't want to say legacy, I guess you could say legacy.
Energy?
His energy, his, trying to inspire people, knowing how much. I think that Kobe's death is going to show all these other athletes, celebrities, people
their power that they can.
Their power, kind of just their what's it called? Their I'm gonna just say inspiration, but just how many people they touch and they mean to people.
Yeah.
So I think
connection.
Connection.
How much of a connection they can have with people. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like you said, Kobe was doing a lot of charity work.
Oh yeah, he like right now he has this called Mamba Foundation. I think it's like Mamba on 3.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, so all the money going to that is going to continue to proceeds to something with sports to for like lower income people, lower income families, something like that. And also money for that is going to go to the families to pay the families that were also involved in the accident.
Okay.
I think also another crazy thing I mentioned is, so I've seen some people talk about why would he ride a helicopter?
Yeah.
It's also dangerous to be driving in a car.
Yeah.
Like there's like just because you don't see all these accidents, there's so many accidents going on
every day. Yeah.
Every day, and Kobe was riding this helicopter. People ride helicopters all the time.
Yeah.
I was imagining there, and I hear more about car accidents, see more car accidents than I do helicopter stuff.
Yeah. Some people are saying like if he was just driving a car, then
he would have been fine.
But
like in this situation, maybe.
And it was just a miscalculation, right? You said that he was they told the pilot he was okay to fly.
Yeah, like they gave him the okay and everything.
Yeah. So imagine how the guy that gave the okay felt, and like the conditions weren't actually good. That'd probably be terrible.
Do you think anyone should be blamed?
Not for something like that, because people don't like. If it was on purpose, then the blame should be put on someone. But
It was more of an accident.
Yeah, it was more of an accident.
Like, yeah, they didn't.
Yeah,
they weren't. Yeah, more of an accident. Just an accident.
Yeah, like some people might be offended by this, but I was like, that's how I think of almost everything. Like with big people like this, like what if it's like a conspiracy, and like he was like,
What?
he was like targeted by someone. Like who the hell would do that?
There actually is a conspiracy. Have you seen it?
No.
It's this dude saying that it was all set up because Kobe was in a lawsuit battle with Big Pharma about the word Black Mamba.
Okay, what does Black Mamba have to do with Big Pharma?
It was something correlated to it, that like they have some kind of medicine. They're trying to like take that away from him. Like you can't. It was something dumb. I didn't really look into it.
Yeah.
It could be true, but I don't believe it. And I also think it's just too soon, especially with like these conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Unless they really make sense. But nah, I doubt it.
Big Pharma makes a lot of money, or they're connected with the government and all that shit. So if Kobe was getting in the way of all that, the government hasn't not done some shady shit before.
True.
I'm sure.
But I mean, yeah, like my condolences to his family.
Yeah.
His daughters, all the other families that were involved, and yeah, Kobe will be missed. Yeah, that's all I got. What about you?
Yeah, rest in paradise, Kobe.
Yep.
Alrighty, next on
to some other sad news. Not sad, but kind of sad, relieving. Mac Miller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's start. Let's go there. How'd you feel about your first? How was your first listen?
The album, I think, honestly, only gave it one listen, and I think just I gave it two. I think on the first listen, I was getting kind of bored of it. It's just because I don't know, my mind's all over the place, and I couldn't really focus on it. But the next listen, I was on my way home from work, and I was like tired and shit, and I was kind of more vibing with it, just because I was like kind of matching the vibe of the album, I guess.
Vibe check, your
you know what I mean?
vibe.
Like not to sound like a fucking head ass, but like I was just tired, and I was just kind of more like feeling
the sound,
the energy of the album. Like it was more mellow and shit.
I get that. Yeah.
My favorite songs on it are Blue World and Complicated. I really like those. I relate to both of those pretty well. But I need to give it another listen, honestly. I know it's good, or like all the production's good. I know Mac Miller's a genius, all that, and I acknowledge that. But I need to give it another listen.
I feel it. This also isn't like, we're not like critiquing it as like anything, because like when my first listen was also like when you asked me about it, you're like, what you think about it, and you told me like it was kind of not as entertaining as you thought, but it was still good.
Yeah.
I got what you meant. Because there was at least 3 songs that didn't really care about.
Okay.
That were kind of just, and it's short. It's a short album.
Yeah.
But it was those 3 songs, and when I was thinking about it, it was the thing about like posthumous. How do you say it? Posthumous albums? You know, like when the
post something.
I'm gonna say post something, but you know, after someone dies and they drop an album, it's also hard. Because maybe it would have changed something last minute.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and stuff like that happens through the creative process of artists all the time.
Yeah.
And there was also the things I did like about it though. I liked how one of the songs he was using, it sounded like some flume type. Yeah, it sounded like some flume type, because it sounded like EDM-ish. That I always hear in EDM songs, and I was like, oh, cool.
Do you remember what the song was?
I might have been like track 3, 4. But yeah, that song was cool. I was like, it's fun. I really liked the second half more than the first half. But then like once I started listening to it more, the album kind of felt like a roller coaster in a way. Not really, not like a roller coaster, but like something that was going up and down.
Yeah.
Because as we know, Mac was someone that was going like we saw. No, I'm not even gonna get to that. But the album felt as if he's telling us. Damn. There's like points in the album. It seems like he has a grip on things, right? A grip on his life.
Yeah.
And there's parts of it where he kind of he doesn't have a grip of it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way he ends the album, it seems like it's okay. It's all gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I really like the sound of the album. I really like just the feel of the album. Not like when I listen to music, I listen to lyrics, but the lyrics are one thing. It's the production behind it that gives it more of a voice to me.
You're right.
And so when my favorite tracks are Wood, or the second half. Like that second half of the album to me is just really good because it seemed like what did you say? You said he like mastered that sound or he like perfected that sound because a little bit of it was on, what was the last one? Swimming. There's a little bit of it, not so much.
Yeah.
But like that's how I felt. That's how the album takes me when I listen to it now. It's the ending's like it's gonna be okay, but throughout the album, I got a grip of things. I don't have a grip of things right now. Got it, and then to me, I liked it. It was a good album. Good music. I wish he was here to, get his flowers for it.
Yeah.
It also just kind of sucks. Like listening to the album just made me think about like his death a lot. It made me think about how his death was really unfair as well.
Yeah.
And we will never get to see the ending of his story.
Yeah.
We grew up with Mac when like Kids dropped and like what was the other one? His first big one was like Purple and Red.
Blue Slide Park.
No, it was before that. I forgot it.
Best Day Ever.
Best Day Ever. Yeah, Best Day Ever. Like he was a kid. Like we saw this fool as like a teenager.
Yeah, that's what.
And then grew into a teenager who has
a bunch of issues.
I don't even want to say issues or problems. He's just going through life now.
Yeah, with his money.
He's going through life,
drugs and shit. And
just just stuff like that. And then we get to swimming, which kind of to me sounded as if. To me, swimming sounded kind of he's going through a lot.
Yeah.
And then that's why I really liked Circles because just the way he ends it.
Yeah.
And also, it wasn't going to be this perfect album of, all right, guys, I'm good now. Cool. It was a good ending to what we were able to get since we won't really ever get a real ending to it.
Yeah, you're right. Especially since he couldn't put his like final touches and changes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The picture I get in my head of the two albums combined is like, instead of Swimming and then Circles, is kind of treading water. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just like maintaining, and he's talking about all the things that he's going through, like his up and downs, like you said in the second album.
Yeah.
How it's a roller coaster. Like in the second part of the album, you said that you felt his like creative idea, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he pinpointed that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I forgot where I was coming from with that, but yeah, like he pinpointed his idea, and I see it as he was kind of treading water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I actually want to like put the albums together in like a playlist and just click shuffle and see what happens with that.
That would be dope.
But like rest in peace, Mac Miller. Again, there's way too many artists like losing their lives. And this time right now, the last 5 years is kind of reminding me of kind of how history repeats itself. You know, in like rock and roll, a lot of people were like overdosing, just dying.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, like that era.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like that a little bit. Yeah. Even if it's not just for the same reason, it's just these people are going and leaving.
Yeah.
And it sort of seems at a faster rate. Not than that, but just than it was a couple years ago.
Well, and you see, what I feel like that shows a lot about how art has a lot of connection with, I don't want to say mental illness, but like addiction. Like it's obviously people express themselves through art, and like music is art. So people with a lot of emotions to express and a lot of shit going on in their mind, I guess. Um, like are going through it, and then they're the popular ones. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned, Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain. Like they're like legends, right? Like so, Mac Miller. I call Mac Miller a legend. Maybe that's just my bias or my.
Nah,
I like him a lot.
Absolutely.
But, who else? Like Lil Peep. A lot of people like Lil Peep. Like he had a big impact on people.
Lil Peep had that like Kurt Cobain, not Kurt Cobain, yeah, Kurt Cobain like effect.
Yeah, and they like you said, history repeating itself. Like they had a lot of things in common. Like mainly like depression and like their drug use. Like it sucks.
Do you think it's like, or not like, but do you think it's the individuals or the industry?
That was kind of like in that J. Cole and Marshawn Lynch and the other guy. How the J. Cole was talking about how the industry kind of fuels the fire of these young kids that use drugs to make music, or like they make music while they're using drugs, and they're making the music from using drugs. Like the industry kind of fuels that, so it could be both the individual and the industry. The industry exploiting that. That's how J. Cole said it, exploiting.
Especially some of these younger artists that are coming from nothing.
Yeah, they're gonna take. They're gonna take.
And I don't think they're like fed drugs. Obviously not. Like no one's feeding them drugs, but they're gonna chase the money, especially if they don't have anything right now.
Yeah,
like they're gonna chase the money, and then things happen. Like what I've noticed from bigger artists, at least, is when they start popping, they peak really, really fast, really hard.
Yeah,
and then it's that second project or that second round of new music where it's not as good, and fans and the industry are just getting on the artist.
Yeah,
because if you're not matching that, then one, your fans or people critiquing music or anything they're gonna bash you, and that could do damage to someone's psyche.
Yeah,
and then not to mention like your label. If you're not producing for your label, they don't care. They know they'll find a new artist like in the next couple months.
Definitely.
And it just seems like such a fast industry where if you're not producing, you're out.
Yeah.
And then you're just left to like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And then some are just stuck to contracts. Some are stuck to just a bunch of stuff, and they just get played really hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's, like you said, I agree with you. I think it's a little bit of both, but for me, especially with that Peep thing, I don't know if you like read into everything that happened. His management, I think management has a big thing with artists. Like these artists should have therapists. I think all artists should have therapists. They should have a good manager. They should have they should have an accountant so they don't go broke. Like they should have these things given to them, and not just just end up in a bad way or end up in a bad situation.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have any examples of people who are getting played like that right now in the industry?
As of right now,
off the top of your head.
I see the top of my head.
I can't think of any.
I mean, I can't think of any on the top of my head, but like the designers of the world, he didn't have an album, but he had a hit.
Yeah.
And then when he kept trying again, it wasn't working, and then he got shelved, and now he's just, no one knows what he's doing now.
Yeah.
I also, some of these people are really young. Like, I'm kind of scared for the Billie Eilish in the world who just started. She peaked really hard right now, and I want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Like, she's still really young, so it's not like if she fell off, she fell off hard. Like, she still has time to, grow up and do all that. But stuff like that, like artists like that who just peak really hard and don't know how to maintain themselves, don't have the best team around them. Like recently I was talking about like the Kendricks of the world. Like Kendrick's a normal person.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick understood the game, understood the industry. He said, I'm gonna give him music, I'm gonna do my job, get music, get money, and then I'm gonna just go back to home, to my wife, to my kid and all that.
Yeah.
And like that's why I appreciate that. Same thing with the J. Cole's. Like he came and went. He comes and goes. And I think that's the healthiest way for artists to do that.
Yeah, and J. Cole talked about, he made a lot of, or like his first couple albums were about himself, and then the next, or he realized that they're all about himself, and he got tired of that, and he made one like about the industry. I think like that was like the main thing he
KOD.
covered.
I think it was KOD.
Yeah, and then so I think artists need to be able to do that, but not all artists have that like,
leeway.
Yeah, like the leeway, the creative spectrum, I guess, like to think outside the box. Um, just rapping, talking, singing about just different stuff. Yeah.
That's about it I got.
Like when you think about it, like Migos, like all their songs are about like cars, girls, and like money.
Hey, Migos are stuck too. Migos, they since Culture 1, they haven't really done much.
No,
Like they're just a known name now because everyone knows Migos, but
they're still making some hits though, right? Like some
little bit,
like not hits, but like popular songs, like on the radio.
I mean, they're still
like
relative, yeah, but they're not. They for sure have fallen off a lot, and also just that sound. You know, that's the other thing with the music industry is you have to keep up with the sound. You have to keep up with the fans.
Yeah.
Because, like, the fans that, to me, the people that control the wave of music is the young people. Or, like, the teenagers.
That's true.
The super young teenagers, like, look what Old Town Road did.
Yeah.
That was a kid's song.
Yeah.
Kids control. The kids put him on the platform that he's on now.
Yeah.
So...
And that's mainly because of like social media, right? And just,
bro. It's just there's just a lot. There's a lot of things that artists have to go deal with, and it just makes me think like, would I ever want to would I ever want to live that type of life? And it's just kind of like, nah, not really. Like the money's cool, but money's everywhere. You can get money in any type of way.
Yeah. Do you think? I think it's kind of obvious, but like if older people, the older generation had access or like such an influence on like the media, I guess, and like coverage of new artists and stuff, like the music that's out today would be so much different, and like all the artists that quote unquote you'd say old heads with like that they don't like, like they would be irrelevant, like they wouldn't even be like in the picture, you know what I mean?
Are you saying like if older artists stayed relevant?
If older generations had an influence on like the media, like
okay, so
you know what I mean? Like how we were talking about how like young people have that influence on social media to like put artists on that platform, on that pedestal. Like these artists would not even be in the picture. Like they wouldn't even get the chance to be out or like make money or just be as popular as they are.
I get what you're saying. Numbers wise, no, I don't think so, because like there's a lot of like OGs and stuff, but not more than the consumers. You know what I mean? So like number wise, I think like these kids are like where most of these, I mean, to be exact, it usually is like white. It's like it's a younger white generation that's always moving the sound, because that's who's consuming and buying the most music.
Okay.
But the influence part, I agree with, because that's something Snoop Dogg was saying, was he wished that what Snoop said during his generation is that his generation focused on themselves and they didn't pass anything down.
Yeah.
And then so because of that, it goes they left it open for anyone to make music, for anyone to do anything, for, you know, because he said when he came in, he had to go through Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just anyone could make music, anyone could do this and do that.
You have to be like liked by someone else in the industry.
And then Snoop was always saying like he feels bad because he feels his generation, just him himself, he could have had a better influence on like these younger generations of people who are making music.
Yeah.
And
do you think
that gap is just very big to like really bring it back, to be honest?
Do you think that that's because he felt limited creatively limited by, like, let's say Dr. Dre, like he had to stay under his like light of acceptance, like you know what I mean? Like he didn't have that much leeway. Like I guess that was more just trying to fit in, just being Or like they weren't trying to be all different.
Well, it depends. It depends because, like we were just saying, like the sound during Snoop's age was gangster rap.
Yeah.
So if you were doing something left field or right field of that,
Yeah.
it was you weren't really gonna get that much listen to. But then Snoop did, like, he started hooking up with Pharrell. He did what's his big one? Like Snoop.
Who?
Drop It Like It's Hot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like, see, like that was like
Yeah.
that's pretty that's pretty like creative out of what he grew up to do.
You're right.
So like, but there is a time, like, Snoop's always gonna be Snoop no matter what. Like, Snoop's a GOAT. He's a legend no matter what. Even if you want to look back at his discography, Snoop's just always Snoop. Like, that's a name. You say Snoop Dogg, everyone knows who Snoop Dogg is. You know what I mean?
I think in the last decade, he made a reggae album and like a funk album.
Yeah. Like, but he does a lot of those because what he does is the people in his old neighborhood, the rappers coming up, he has them writing all his lyrics.
Really?
And he's just getting them money. Yeah. So he's doing stuff like that, and he's been doing stuff like that for the past couple years.
He's using his voice.
And he's just So, like, he's been a lot more influential now. He just wished that back then, like early 2000s, 2010s, he would have been more like supportive like that.
Yeah.
So, I get that. That's about it that I got. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
For sure. Let's see what else we got. So let's finish this off with, let's talk about the Grammys.
Billie Eilish won like 10.
But yeah, Billie Eilish is something else. I don't I don't get it. Dude, I don't get how this happens every year. It's just one person blows up randomly and then win everything. And it's kind of it's weird to think about also because like we were just talking about, like, the sound, you got to follow the sound, is how, like, Billie Eilish's sound, I don't know if you ever listen to her songs or anything, but that sound to me just doesn't seem popular to me.
Yeah. Do you think a big part of her awards, or her getting all the awards, had to do with her sales?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't really follow her. Like, I don't really even know, like, her personality or anything. Yeah. I used to listen to her music before she blew up. Actually, she was a really good singer.
Okay.
And then she came out with this album that was just hella alternative, a lot more alternative.
Would you say edgy?
Nah, I think I think what's edgy is more of her, because she has a little bit of a Kanye influence. I hear it, like a Yeezus, Yeezus influence, just a little bit.
Grunge.
What's grunge?
I've heard of it, like, I think some Nirvana could be considered grunge.
Nah, it's just like her look. I think that's where she gets a lot of her influences. Like her look, like stuff that she wears. I think that's I think it's just from what she's like into. Like, she might be really into rock music. Like, when I see pictures of her, I'm like, oh, like it kind of I don't know if emo's the right word, but just just that image.
It's dark.
Yeah, just like that darker image. But I don't know. It's just I'm getting kind of tired of, like, I'm getting tired of it. But also, it's the Grammys. Like, what do you expect? You can't really expect much from the Grammys.
Do you remember what all the awards were for?
That she won. She got Record of the Year, Album of the Year. Those are two big ones. So she got Song of the Year. Damn. Best New Artist. Yes, that's just the very first. That's first. She got Best Pop Vocal Album.
Damn.
Like, I don't. It's just.
How many in total?
She had 10. I'm pretty sure 10. Like, she had the other guy carrying it too.
Damn.
She was carrying 4. Other dudes carrying like 5.
That's crazy. I think that's her brother.
Oh yeah, it was her brother. Yeah. But yeah, man, like, I'm tired of the Grammys. I'm tired of. It does seem like a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And there's just so much better music out there. They're doing better though. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the inclusion they're doing is a lot better, but they just need to do more. Cause, like, the Grammys actually mean a lot. And like I was saying before,
in what way?
That audience of white younger people they follow stuff like this. Like every time someone wins a Grammy, their numbers go up. They skyrocket, like over 100% of sales.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, you know, it does something for even just being nominated. That's why a lot of people are happy to be nominated because winning it
gets them noticed.
Yeah, but getting nominated, your numbers still really go up.
Yeah.
And just the fact that the Grammys is filled with just older people. Like, we don't really know who's voting on these. I know some people are part of it, and they're, like, producers and stuff like that, but it's not very inclusive. Like, people have reported it's very, it's a lot of, like, old artists. Old artists.
Uh-huh.
Very, very white.
Also,
it's not very inclusive.
Yeah. Also, powerful people in the industry, right? Like, they play a big part.
And they also just do little stuff. They be hosting little events for artists to come and perform for the voters. So it sometimes some artists have said it feels as if they're like performing for just likes. So like, it seems like a like popularity contest. Yeah. And some people don't want to perform in front of these people because like they won't get it. It's just weird. Like, why do I gotta perform to be liked by you? Why can't you just judge me by like my music?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
I do feel. Say
my bad. Go ahead.
The Grammys were important.
Would I say it's important?
Or I think you said like the Grammys are important.
I say they're just important for just the revenue they'll bring in for an artist.
Okay, yeah.
And just recognition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yes and no. Because, like, I think these artists will be... The artists that win, they achieve something else, and they have something to put on the resume. And also, they get paid more once you get nominated, once you win a Grammy and stuff like that. Like, things go... Like, it's like getting hired at a big company. You know, you get to put on your resume. Yeah. Yeah, I get this much now. You know, you get paid more and stuff like that.
You know how Olympic gold medals are worth a lot, right?
Are they? I thought they were worth
I don't know if they're worth a whole lot, but like they can sell them and like make good money off it. You think you could do that with Grammys? Like they're made of like gold?
Oh no, they're not worth that. They're not worth that much.
Okay.
I mean, I for sure would buy someone's Grammy that I really liked. To be honest, but
if you had that money.
Yeah, I'm off Billie Eilish for now.
Yeah.
Not saying that she doesn't deserve to be at the Grammys, just.
It was a little over the top, like exact. She didn't deserve.
This just happens every year. It's just tiring to see.
Yeah.
It's even with the Lizzos of the world, like Lizzo won hella awards too.
Yeah.
And it's also especially knowing about this machine that labels are known for using, where they have a bunch of phones on like this.
Oh damn!
So imagine a bunch of little cubbies where you can put phones at.
Yeah.
And they're all just streaming a song, but there's some labels that have big, like a whole ass wall like that. Yeah. The whole thing right there just fills phones, just streaming, just repeat.
What the fuck?
And then there's just a bunch of like industry stuff to get numbers going, and it's also confusing because when I think about that, I think about where's the money coming from? Because like you're streaming, and if a label's streaming. It's kind of just, I can't pinpoint to where the money is exactly being generated or where it's from. Because yes, we're all paying for a service, but there's that many, like streams aren't divided by its subscribers and how much money the subscribers put in. It's literally just stream as much as you can. Yeah. And you get a big sum amount. So, like, that's why labels have nothing to do. That's why labels can do that and just boost the streams and numbers of their artists.
It's another reason I don't, like, watch the Grammys or anything like that.
I like the performances sometimes. Like, when it's someone I really care about, I watch the performance.
I like Tyler's performance.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked I didn't really get how he went from Earthquake to, or I guess maybe it shows, like, his thought processes during his life. Like he goes from that like energy to like that the low energy of like Earthquake to like My New Magic Wand or A New Magic Wand.
Yeah, you got it.
And like he was going dumb up there, and like with all those, I liked how he brought in all those like doppelgangers to go dumb. Like I thought it was cool.
Yeah. What I really liked was he had Boys to Men on there. That's who the singers were.
Okay.
The gentlemen.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it was alright. I just like I don't want to say it seemed minimal, but if it wasn't for like the camera just like shaking up to the left and right,
Oh, yeah,
like it's a roller coaster or some type of thing. Like he was just really going just wild on there. Not wild, but crazy. You know, just going hard.
Yeah.
And I've seen better performances.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's good for Tyler though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like no knock to Tyler. I love the song, love the album.
Like who came in on a fucking like bird? Was that Travis? Like he was like riding on a bird through a.
Oh no, that wasn't the Grammys.
Yeah, not the Grammys, but like at like
on his tour.
Yeah,
like that's what I mean. And honestly, maybe it was just underwhelming because I've seen Tyler live so many times, especially at Flogna where he goes off.
Okay.
So it might have just been very underwhelming.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Let's see. He won Best Rap Album too.
Nice.
So
I'm glad.
Do you see
that was his Grammy? Yeah, and he was like,
did you see his call out? How he called out the Grammys?
Yeah. Do you agree with that? I don't really know what he means by when they say urban. That's just a replacement for the N word.
So what I know about the urban category was, so that's kind of a new category. That's kind of like I think it's like 4 years old, maybe 5. It's fairly new, and every time. Like first of all, like when you hear urban, what do you think?
A city,
right? Or just urban city. Like there's no real sound to that.
Yeah.
Like when you think of a rap album, you think of rap. When you think of R&B album, you think of singing. You think of a pop album, so forth and so forth. But it's like urban.
What is
the big thing with urban is people have complained that there really is just another category that they can put other artists that are black, because usually the urban category is just a bunch of black singers, black like look so
that's mainly who
urban
choose.
Contemporary album is Steve Lacy, Lizzo, Georgia Modra, I don't know how to say her name, Nayo, and then Jessie Reyes. All these are singers.
Have there been any white
that I know
nominations?
That I know of, no. Like and
I feel like once we find, or if you were to figure out a white nomination that got nominated for urban, you'd be able to see kind of more what they mean, I guess. Because I don't see how they relate that to black. Like that's straight up just racist. Like as Tyler said.
And also just like urban contemporary album. When I hear that, the first time they put it on there, I was like, okay, it's gonna be like lower like known artist.
Yeah.
Because urban contemporary,
it was they nominated people who just kind of went on like an experimental path. That's who they put on there.
Oh that too. Yeah. I mean, Beyonce got nominated for an urban contemporary album as well one time.
Yeah, okay. Would you say that
was right?
That album was experimental in any way?
Yeah, I mean she had a little bit of everything. Like she had country in there, she had R&B, she had a little bit of like rap ish.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was experimental. But even then, like Nayo, she's alternative. Steve Lacy, he's alternative R&B. Jessie Reyes she's a singer. I don't listen to her that much to really say anything. Yeah, Reyes.
She's Hispanic? Okay.
I think she's half. Okay. I feel like she might be half. And I don't know who the hell Georgia is. But do I agree with Tyler? Because this thing was just saying that's another way of saying that. I also think Tyler was also angry at the fact that he was put into rap. Because the rap category, because like his album's not a rap album.
Yeah.
Like it's more, I don't even know what to say it is. Like maybe pop. I know he mentioned pop, and I was thinking like, does he want to be mentioned in the pop category or?
Yeah.
Because I know he was shooting for Album of the Year for sure, which I think he should have been nominated for. But rap, nah. That was the farthest like nomination he should have got.
Would you say his album was experimental?
For sure. Yeah.
Especially with songs like New Magic Wand.
Yeah, those are more Those kind of sound like more rap, drill, the drill
Drill?
sound. Yeah, like drill-ish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, like Grammys need a lot of work to do, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll ever get it right. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I feel like the mainstream will never be authentic or genuine. Like,
yeah, for sure not. But I feel like that might be subjective, also.
Yeah, it's kind of my bias on the mainstream. But
like, cause like I said, they've gotten better. Like, best rap, like YBN Cordae got nominated for best rap album also.
okay.
He's a new guy, not really known. Like he's known, but not like that. J. Cole won his first Grammy. J. Cole was actually like never. He was never winning Grammys ever.
Not even nominated, or he's been nominated. Like no.
Nah, he wasn't even getting nominated before.
Damn.
He was nominated now.
I would say he deserved to be nominated. Yeah, like what the fuck? He's pretty genuine and original, and like all this shit's like genuine and original.
Also another thing I had a problem with was The Revenge of the Dreamers 3 by Dreamville. Got nominated for Best Rap Album. That's a collab.
Okay.
That's messed up. You literally put this whole label against everybody else.
Would you say they had
a collab album?
Would you say they had an unfair advantage or disadvantage? Because it was more diluted. Like they couldn't really pinpoint like the skill in the.
I think they had an advantage, but it's hard to make an. I think if they would have been put into best collaborative album, they probably would have won. But because there's just so many people on there and they had so many people do it, it just didn't flow as much. Like when I listen to it all the way through and I can pick songs from it all over and that I like. With Igor, I can listen to it all the way through and it's like a good project.
There wasn't a main concept in that.
There's no concept. Yeah. It's just a lot of good music.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, until Kendrick drops an album and wins a bunch of... I do get hyped. Every time Kendrick wins an album, I get hyped.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. And I think I protested the Grammys at one point for like 3 years when he got robbed from Malcolmore. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
For Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah. I was hella mad. I was like, I'm never watching the Grammys again until he dropped
To Pimp a
Butterfly. Then I was like, all right, I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Fantano gave... To Pimp a Butterfly 10.
A 10. God level.
God level, yeah. What else?
That's about it I got on the Grammys. You got anything else? I think that's about it. I got you got anything else?
Nah.
All right, for sure. All right, see y'all next week. Deuces.
Bye-bye.